All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Inside Edge podcast. As always, I'm your host, Gehrig Schilling, and I am joined by Coach Joe Clark, as usual. How are we doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How are you this morning?
Fantastic. Had a wonderful Christmas. How was yours?
Yeah, same. A lot of family. All three kids were under one roof and a great meal. All good. No drama, no travel, and no drama. So it's a good combination.
Oh, no travel for me either, which was huge.
Yeah.
Just 20 minutes away from mom and dad. We got a couple updates to give you guys before we head into some talk. We got the 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship coming up. We have USA in the Group A and Canada in Group B on a collision course. US is the back-to-back defending champs right now. I actually played Finland last year and beat them in overtime. So
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing more news coming out of that. The Bruins prospect looks unbelievable right now, James Hagan. And then, just looking forward to the next couple of days of tournament games. It's New Year's Eve as we're talking to you guys right now. So January 2nd will be the quarterfinals into the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
and then
Fun to watch. Those guys, they get better and better every year. The competition gets better and better every year. You know, the U.S. team is strong. They've just got some amazing up and coming talent. Goaltending is strong. Blue line is strong up front. So a lot of this really comes down to it's never a question of effort for these guys. It's just a matter of some bounces, a little bit of luck, and finishing. You really got to finish. So, but it's been fun to watch. Yes.
absolutely. This is one of those things that if you're a real hockey sicko and you can't wait for the Olympics, this is a great tournament to
Yeah.
watch because these guys, this is the best competition they'll get until they're in the show for real. So,
Yep. And when I watched some of the not so strong countries, Denmark, for example, Latvia, and Latvia is not that far off, but the biggest difference really to me is size and strength. And I was watching a game, Denmark Canada. Denmark tried their hardest and good effort, but physically the strength was there. You could see the difference. The speed was completely apples and oranges. And so all of those countries you're trying. I mean, you're talking about a country of Denmark, a grand total of 6 million people, maybe the population, compared to Canada or the U.S. So hockey's a kind of not as big of a deal as it is in some of these other countries, but they give it everything they have, and but you can see just watching what's missing, and its strength and its speed.
and Latvia as well, Coach, under 2 million people. Took Canada to overtime. So it's just a ringing
Yeah.
endorsement to the game growing and more people having access to hockey equipment, which is awesome. We love that.
100%. Coaching, I've met some of the best coaches around, and they're from Slovakia or Latvia, and so the game is a great point. The game is growing. The coaching is getting way better, and for a team like Latvia or Denmark to upset, one of the big nations is a big deal. So it's fun to watch, and you're dealing with young men and a lot of emotion, a lot of energy, and it's really fun to watch.
Are you a soccer fan at all, Coach?
Yeah, actually, I never really cared for soccer until my son played it in high school, and then I really got to understand the game a lot better. So yeah, I say I like soccer.
I feel sort of these tournament types are sort of akin to the World Cup, where these Latvia and Slovakia nations don't necessarily go in expecting to win, but if they can upset
Yep.
Canada or the USA, that's just as big of a deal for the 2 million people that live in that country as anything.
Yeah, and it bolsters the sport in that country too. It just
Yep.
gives them a little bit of a, you tell me I've got a chance, right? But it's a lot of fun to watch, and everyone loves an underdog. And then when I go into these tournaments and watch them, whether it be soccer or any sport, but especially hockey,
Well,
you're always going to cheer for the underdog.
as an American kid too, I feel like Gretzky gets a lot of credit for bringing hockey to the States, but it was also the 1980 Olympic team showing people that
Yeah,
this was
yeah,
possible.
I think that was a big one because of the media attention. And I think years prior, the media attention wasn't so great. It wasn't that one, the whole climate of the world, USA versus Russia. That
Yep.
was a big deal. So that was an incredible event, and I was, almost I was 19 years old at that time.
Do you remember where you were, Coach?
Yeah, I do. I remember I was working at a newspaper in Augusta, Maine, and the Kennebec Journal. Yeah, that's exactly where I was. Where were you?
I was a twinkle in Kurt's eye, probably going to start
Yeah,
somewhere in
yeah,
mid
yeah, yeah, exactly.
wherever
Yeah,
February.
but the media, I think the media attention really helped a lot. But the world climate added a little spice to the whole thing, and ever since it's been really, really good to watch. So leading up to that, it'll be really interesting to see what happens in Italy and to see who's on the team to begin with. I think we pretty much know,
Yeah.
but it'll be exciting and it means a lot to the guys. You can be a longtime NHL veteran, but this is really special. So they're going to give everything they have.
In terms of the rest of the league, I also just wanted to touch because my Bruins, it seems like they've found the edge of the cliff. They're 3-5-2 in their last 10. Swayman and why am I blanking on his name? Just Corpusalo have struggled tremendously recently during this slide. We've had injuries, we've had it all, you name it. Corpusalo and Swayman in this last 5 of 6 that we've dropped. Swayman has an 850 save percentage. Corpusalo has a 706.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going up to Winnipeg this week, Coach. We were going to talk about it a little bit, but can you maybe stop at Boston too?
It's a gigantic roller coaster, and you got to try to avoid excessive time at the bottom of the roller coaster. It might be the best way to put it. But you look at the Bruins; they were in first place. They're only 7 points out of first in the Atlantic.
Yeah, the East is tight,
so it's tight. It's really, really tight. So a couple of big wins here and there, a little bit of a streak, will fix everyone. But you can't, emotionally, you can't really dive into it too deeply. You just got to go play and stay focused on what you're doing. But it's a grind. The season is a grind. The Jets right now look like the worst team in the league, and they're a little older and they're a little slower, and they have a hard time putting the puck in the net. They have one elite line with Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele on it, but it's easy to shut down one line, and so that one line has really got to have the work ethic to push through. So it really is going to come down to specialty teams. I'm watching the Jets the other night, and they had a 1-goal lead, minute left, open net, and they scored. But as soon as they touched the puck, whistle blew, penalty behind the scene, and it was a really, really selfish cross-checking. Had nothing to do with anything. Winnipeg cross-checked DeMaio, cross-checked a guy in the back, and got called for it. And guess what? They score, tie it up, and lose in overtime. So they were playing Minnesota, and they had the win. They had it done and scored an empty net goal to make it 4-2. Didn't happen. It's tough. I mean, for this team, for Winnipeg right now, it's like the ultimate misery train. No matter what they do, they're going to find a way to lose. And the old saying, grabbing, the way that they are going about their game right now is really frustrating to watch. So we'll see. Yeah, but I do head up there this weekend, and we'll stay for 3, 4, 5 days. Catch at least one.
That's what I was going to say. If you can swing around to Boston on your way by or back, let me know, because they sound like they could use it. And just to your point,
it'll be good to see Helly and stay with him and Andre and the 2 kids. Just talk, just talk. I mean, he might need it right now. His stats are not stellar. I think he's playing fine. I don't really see any issues, but they've cut down the shots against a little bit, but some of the shots against are doozies and like high chance, high scoring areas, and it's really hard to even imagine picking off some of these shots that are coming at them. But it's tough, but they're still in the mix. Everything is still tight in all of the divisions, but the Central is really tough, right? I mean, it's a pretty good group of teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, Coach, to your point about the East earlier, the entire East is separated by 11 points right now. And just for frame of reference, the bottom team in the West is 31 points off of the Colorado Avalanche. Like I said, the East is 11 points apart, every single team. So it's a huge logjam. I'm being dramatic as a Bruins fan, but it feels like everyone's had their moment to shine this year. The Sharks have been on a run. They're in the wild card 2 spot right now. Buffalo has won 9 straight and is 1 point behind Florida for the last wild card spot. I mean, Everyone
Yeah.
is all over the place in the East right now. It
Yeah,
feels like.
yeah. But Colorado, the biggest stat to me is I still cannot believe Colorado has two losses, two regulation losses.
Yeah.
They're 29, 2, and 7. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like we're at the new year and they have two losses.
And both of their goaltenders are top five in every major statistical category, which shows
Yeah.
you. I mean, I was a Bruins fans. I could tell you firsthand a few years ago with Linus and Swayman how easy that season felt. But
Yep. Yep. I mean, this is how bad it is for Winnipeg. St. Louis is ahead of them in the standings by 4 points. I think the Jets have the fewest games played in the Central, which kind of helps a little bit.
yeah,
But any team, the Bruins could get on a run, Winnipeg could get on a run, San Jose could get on a run. Who knows, right? But it's a big, like I always say, it's a big roller coaster, a huge roller coaster. One issue I wanted to bring up is not really an issue, but you look at the goal differential. There's only two teams in the Pacific, Edmonton and Vegas, who have a plus differential, and it's really low, like +3 and +2,
yeah,
respectively, and goals for, goals against. And you look at Colorado, they're +66. Like that's nuts. And
yeah. That's
even now it's
crazy.
+34. So the balance, in the Pacific, it is still pretty tight. There's less than right around 10 points between first and last. But yeah, the Central, bad division to be in if you're on the lower half of that. And Winnipeg, Chicago, St. Louis, Nashville, they got a long way to go. Utah, for example, long way to go. So it's tough.
Yep. And speaking of streaks, you know Brandon Bussey, coach?
I know who he is. I remember when he played in. This is kind of an interesting story. I remember when he was in the USHL, and I believe I was scouting at the time, and his value was really low. Like no one liked him, and I'm trying to remember which USHL team he played for, but he was kind of bouncing around a little bit. But there just wasn't a lot of love for the guy. Just didn't play well. And here he is, leading the NHL in goals against right now.
Yep.
And and having a really good. I mean, he's doing a great job, and I think among the top goalies that qualify, he's a 208 goals against.
Yeah,
Which
he
is
is.
leading
He is
the league.
13-1-1 in 15 games played with a 208 goals against, which is number one in the NHL, and a 911 save percentage, which is 14th in the NHL. He was
Yeah.
the Boston Bruins Providence starting goalie for the last
Yep.
3 years. So I was very, very aware of this man while we had a logjam with Olmark and Swayman. And then he was signed by Florida in the summer and waived and claimed off waivers in October by Carolina. And with the Kachetkov injury, maybe putting him out for the season, this is one of those moves that flies under the radar that could literally end up being the reason Carolina is the 1 seed at the end of the year. I mean, 13 wins in an 82-game season, you can't put a price on that from a guy that wasn't
Yeah.
on your roster.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I think there's certainly a lot of value to his. I mean, you look at what they're probably paying and what they're getting in return. It's a big home run for them.
I'm sure he's not paying for team dinners right now.
No, and he's probably on league minimum. But good for him. Longevity will tell a lot of tales. But as of now, good for him because he's been through a grind over his career. He's been kicked to the curb enough, and
And he went to Boston and Florida, two places he didn't have room to succeed in. I mean, we've talked about that before, where your opportunities are limited by the guys in front of you sometimes. So
Yeah, and so you get an opportunity to play, and it's your time to get on stage, and you got to perform, and hats off to Brandon Bussey. He's doing an awesome job. Mackenzie Blackwood is right in there. Jesper Wallstead. If I was going to say Vezina voting right now, he's probably my number one.
for sure, even since the Quinn Hughes deal, it feels even more so like his role is more impactful. Sort of like
Yeah.
a Helly thing last year, where it's like, God damn, if he keeps up this pace the entire year and they don't miss a beat after losing their best player, or their best defenseman, I should say.
Yeah, I think for the three finalists that they'll name in the springtime, he's a lock. I think. Unless he completely dumps it, but I don't think so because Minnesota's got a good team and they've got it all going on. But you look around, who is number 2 or 3? It's wide open.
And
So
it's
again,
like we were talking about, Coach, with the two goalies in Colorado splitting time pretty evenly and having great stats. That makes it kind of a harder nomination for either of them because of the split workload.
Yeah, you know what? I never really cared for Mackenzie Blackwood, and I saw him play live last year in Winnipeg, and boy, his game is really he's got a good game now. I mean, he's more calm than he has ever been, but he's explosive, good sized guy. But man, he can play, and it just takes time. Some of these guys, it just takes time to develop, and I think he's a perfect example of that. And you know, goaltenders, when they do get kicked to the curb, it's gonna call on them to see what they have inside. He's been in the league a long time. He's done a great job, but his game is really solid overall. If I have a game that I gotta play, I wouldn't have that I'm gonna have any hesitation in getting Mackenzie Blackwood in there. He's as solid as you can be.
I was just curious when you said it, Coach, that because you said you thought he was a lock for at least a nomination this year. Jesper Wallstedt is the 10th current odds right now, behind 9 other guys, which is wild to me. I didn't even think he would be that low. Plus 3,500 for anyone who likes to gamble. Kids, earmuffs.
Yeah. Get on that one.
Yeah.
I'd get on that one. You know, and Logan Thompson has really fallen off. I mean, he was a world beater the first.
He has the best odds right now, and then Sorokin is right after him, who just went on IR and is missing his second game tonight. So as good a time as ever to hop in.
Yep, it is. Again, I always say it's a roller coaster. You got to manage a roller coaster, and it's such a long grind for these guys, especially the veterans who've been playing a long time. So I believe they earn their pay. They really, really do.
Yeah, no question about it. Do you have anything else, Coach? I got a couple questions for you, trivia and whatnot.
I've got trivia for you today too.
Oh, you do? Okay, wonderful.
Anyway, what are the questions you have?
I asked my dad a similar one last night because I saw this graphic and it was the top 5 losingest franchises of the 21st century. And I wanted to see if you get 3 of the 5 worst franchises of the 21st century in the NHL.
21st century. Okay. All right.
So since the year 2000, who are the 5 most losing franchises?
Most losing? Okay, hold on. All right, I'm going to go with... Now, are you talking about regular season?
Regular season only, yes.
I would say Calgary would be one of them.
Calgary is not on the list.
Is not on the list. Okay, 0 for 1. Now you're talking expansion. You can't be expansion because they haven't been around long enough to qualify, correct?
One of them is an expansion team, like
Recent expansion.
Pretty notably bad one.
Yeah, Seattle.
No, they haven't been around long enough. The other one that isn't around anymore.
I would say San Jose might be one of them.
No, surprisingly, they just missed the list.
Okay, Ottawa.
Ottawa's not on there.
I'm striking out left and right. Anaheim has to be
one
on.
Of them.
Buffalo has to be on.
Anaheim is not on there. They were good in the early 2000s. Buffalo is number 2.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me. Philly?
Philly is not on there. Who's had number 1 overall picks, Coach?
Jeez. That's a tough one. I mean, all of them. I'm thinking of teams that have had, like Chicago, won.
Chicago is number 5.
Yeah, see, that surprised me because
that was the most shocking one for me too.
Yeah, so I immediately discounted them because how many Stanley Cups did they win?
Yeah, 3.
A handful of Stanley Cups in a short time. How about your Bruins?
No. What do you mean, Coach? Get me out of there. That was a dick move.
Okay. I had to throw that in.
It's Columbus, number 1. Buffalo, the Arizona Coyotes, who are now the Utah Mammoth.
Okay. Yeah.
Edmonton, and then you got Chicago.
Yeah, Edmonton. Edmonton's a surprise for me because sometimes it's hard to remember what they did 12 years ago.
Yeah, right? But it's like Chicago where they had Kane and now Bedard, or they had McDavid and Eberle. Well, the Oilers have had plenty. They had Taylor Hall. They had how many number 1 overall picks? I feel like they had 4.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, so little trivia for you. Name 5 teams that have a color in their name.
The Blue Jackets.
1.
Are we counting the Blues?
Yes.
Okay, Blues. Golden Knights.
Yep, you get 3. 2 left.
I really wanted to nail this. I wanted to get them all quick. Damn it.
Yep. You got Columbus.
I have 2 left. Is it East or West, Coach? Give me that.
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say
One,
Nashville better not be one because I'm sitting down the street from it.
yeah, you got one in the East, one in the West. You got the Vegas Golden
Just
Knights,
racking my brain.
St. Louis Blues. One of them's obvious. One of them I thought you were gonna enter number one overall, but you haven't got that.
Now the insecurity is starting to creep in.
Yeah, they're in the okay. There's one team, obvious one in the East.
Why is it obvious?
When you hear it, you're gonna kick
Yeah,
yourself.
I coach. I know all the teams. It's gonna make me mad no matter what.
Osgood.
Red Wings. God damn it.
Yep. Detroit Red Wings. Right. One left.
And it's in the West.
Original six.
Blackhawks.
Blackhawks.
That's such
There
a
you go.
stupid
There's
one.
the
I
five.
thought of the Blackhawks
Now,
already.
I feel better about being a horrific trivia guy. So
Oh yeah,
I
you feel
way
the
better.
you feel
Thank
the
for
pressure
doing
when
that.
you're trying to rack your brain. Even though there's no time limit and I can cut the dead air in between, I feel like God damn it, I need to think of this.
Yep. But no, but looking forward to the trip to Winnipeg. I'm going to drive. It's about a 10-hour drive for me, so not a bad poke at all. And I looked at the weather forecast. It's not going to be 30 below like it typically is.
Nice.
And the last trip I had up there last winter, we were celebrating actually Helly's 500th game played, 300th win, and so he had some family in town as well. So we were at dinner, and he said, this is, I think the game had been played, and we went out for a little bite to eat. And he says, hey, we're going ice fishing tomorrow morning at 6. We're going to leave the house at 6. You want to go? It's literally like, 29 below zero.
Oh,
And I said, nah, you know what? I'm going to pass on it. I got to hit the road. So no ice fishing for me. But he does that all the time. When
I was
he's
gonna
got
say,
the-
Coach, were you the polite person who was like, "Sure, I'll go because I'm your guest," and it's the
No.
That's I mean,
No,
God.
no, it's way beyond that now. Like, I'm not going to do that. And he just kind of chuckled. But that's why he stayed in Winnipeg, because he loves that. He loves the outdoors. He loves to fish. And now he's got his kids, especially the older one, Huey, who's, I think he must be 3 or 4 now. So
Well, that was the other side of the coin, Coach. You were talking about they keep guys around and their team gets older. It's also a testament to their franchise that guys are wanting to stay around Winnipeg that long,
Yeah.
because it's obviously an organization that treats people right. From talking to Helly, and if you guys haven't listened to that interview, definitely go and check it out. But I can't wait to hear from you, Coach, and I hope you get some good pictures and behind the scenes stuff for us.
Oh, I will. Promise you that. That'll be fun.
Alrighty. Until then, have a good trip,
All right,
Coach.
brother.
Safe travels. Happy New Year,
All
everybody.
right, good seeing you. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye.